So this is something you may want to get. And then something we're going to be talking about today is the power of calm. So we're going to be talking about calm. For those of you that got the email blasts that I sent out to you, I mentioned that we're going to be talking about calm. So one of the things that we're really interested in having you know is that, guess what? In a home and in a family, there is calm and peace. So we're going to talk a little.
I actually have some great things planned to talk about in the power of calm. This is the whole class I do, the power of calm, in this one CD, and people can get it download online, or they can get the CD sent to them.
I believe it. Okay, well, we've already got a question coming in. We actually came with several that I love. Okay, real quick. Thank you for all of you that have actually emailed and texted and said, please put me on your list so that I can keep up with the show and what's going on. Really do appreciate it. And the fact that everybody's said, I've gotten so many wonderful responses. They're all excited.
So have I. It's been fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, we've really done something great here. Should we answer this question? It says,
let's do that.
Are there any books that teach children to do their chores? London LeRae says, okay, that is what that book is about. It's about teaching children how to follow instructions. Yeah. And if you'll remember, last time we talked about following instructions and how little London, she won't follow through with all of the things that her mother asked her to do. And the steps to following instructions are, you look at the person, you keep a calm voice and a calm face and a calm body, then you say okay, or you ask to disagree appropriately, which I hope to teach you about today, about disagreeing appropriately.
Yes, that's on our list.
Yes, and then to do the task immediately. That's the part that's the hard one for the kids, to actually do it. And then to check back. That check back moment is beautiful. That's the moment where you get to praise them. You get to show them why it's worth it, that there's a connection that's going to happen, that you're working together as a team, and that they've accomplished something great. And so London LeRae says, okay, that is what it is about. And it is, and then I also have lists on my implementation course. We talk a lot about jobs. I have some lists of, I have a job jar on top of my fridge. If I ever don't know what to give the children for a chore.
There you go.
Because we use extra chores as negative consequences. I don't believe in leaving people sitting in timeout for 20 minutes. I think they need to do something that will build their character. Samuel Smiles, author of the book Character, says, the antidote for a sick character is work.
Oh, I agree totally.
So I have things on my course that people can print out to make job jars out of and stuff. And there was another question that came up here that said, what about potty training? Well, now that's a big one, isn't it? Potty training. Yes. I wish there was a cut and dry, quick, you do this and for sure they'll potty train any second. But anybody who's had a number of children knows potty training is difficult. And I'll tell you what, with my first one, I ruined it. I really messed up at first. And we are, you know, we're probably out of time and need to do a commercial, but I can tell you what happened with that potty training incident and what I learned about potty training maybe when we get back. Does that sound okay?
That would be great.
Okay.
We're going to take a break. We're going to be back in just a couple of moments. We're so excited that you have joined us today. I'm B.J. Stober. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist, and I also specialize in trauma with children as well as adults. If you have any interest, my practice is in Salem. 801-616-6041 is how you can reach me there. And then the other is that today, this show, as always, is called Family Voice Talk Radio. So you're joining us on 1480 AM, KHQN, and we're excited to have you here. So take a break. We'll be right back with my special guest, Nicholeen Peck. Welcome back, everyone, to Family Voice Talk Radio with B.J. Stober, and our special guest today is Nicholeen Peck, author, keynote speaker, world traveler, you name it, she's done it.
I just go where they tell me to, BJ. That's it. If people say go, then I go. I have never yet planned my own event. I don't have time. I'm always doing everyone else's events. But one day, I'm going to do my own, and it might come up here pretty soon. I'll let you know.
You know what? We've actually talked about doing some things together, so we've got, you know, we're going to put that out there. You guys keep your eyes and ears open, because
that would be fun.
It would be fun. Definitely will be. We were talking in the break, during the break, about because my children are all grown, and now I'm a grandma, and there were two things that I wanted to mention that when we were talking about chores. And, of course, Nicoleen's right on board, obviously, duh, because this would not be successful without these a couple of dynamics and components. And one is that the chores need to be age appropriate.
Yes.
That's really key. Otherwise, they can be so discouraged and disappointed and frustrated, and they literally won't want to do it. And along with that, because they always want to help when they're young, and if you push them away when they're older and you want them to, they won't want to be there to help out. So, and then the other is that you work with them.
Yes. Yes.
When you start out, you've got to make it fun. So you make the job age appropriate, which is usually short at the beginning, and you make up games and sing songs and tell stories. And
because it's about the bonding.
I
mean, you're teaching.
Yes.
Like, that's the beautiful moment. You know, so many parents dread chores. They dread teaching their children chores. They think things like, well, it's just better if I do it myself. It's quicker. It's, you know, have you heard people say that?
I have.
But they're forgetting one important thing, that this is a moment that happens every day, multiple times, where they get to have a bonding moment with their children. The other thing I thought of just now as you were mentioning these points, which are fantastic and for sure have to be mentioned, is that children are anxious. You know, everyone's got anxiety to some degree. Children especially have anxiety. And if a parent shows them multiple times how to do a chore, makes the chore seem very calm and doable, then the anxiety disappears and they have confidence instead. And likewise, if it's an age-appropriate chore and they're able to build on things incrementally with their knowledge of the different skills, then also the anxiety is not something that's going to be so troublesome for them. Sometimes children really are capable of doing a task, but won't attack it, won't actually approach it to do it because they're so worried about the fact that they might not be able to do the task.
And along with that, too, it helps when they've, I love Montessori schools. They teach such wonderful practices and processes, and it's always age appropriate, and it's always the way the brain develops, which of course then says it's going to be age appropriate. But you need certain patterns for your brain to develop through stages and that sort of thing. And so that makes it really exciting for a child to sweep the floor at a child-sized broom, and to wipe the counter and wipe the table, and so patterns are really important. And that can be so cool. Now, along with this, too, we always had puppets around. So the puppets would hold the broom sometimes and talk to each other. Or the puppets would pick up the room, pick up the toys. And, you know, if you get in the habit, too, of if you're going to play with, you take out one set of toys or blocks or whatever, and if you're going to mingle toys, that's fine, because, of course, that can be very creative. But if all the toys get dumped out at one time, then picking up is really a challenge. But if they play with something and then put it back and then play with something else, they kind of get that into a routine. And before they walk out of the room, they know that we put things back. But that also then means that everything needs a, quote, home.
Yeah, then they can't turn the Lincoln Logs into catapults, though, right?
That's true.
Because my kids, I'll tell you what, they get lots of things out and mix them together, and I'm like, wow, I never would have thought of that. Although, you do have to learn that cleanup skill. And I think that's where the following instructions comes in our family, where they just know when Mom says, I'm giving you an instruction, here's the instruction, their job is to say okay and to do it. And Mom knows if it's become an overwhelming mess at that point, that she's going to give an instruction to just clean the Lincoln Logs first. And then maybe we'll clean the cars. And then, whatever else.